This is Mike Greenberg, and you're listening to Baltimore's flagship sports station, ESPN Radio 1300, the sports station.
WJFK AM, Baltimore.
To be a cool station until they put these dorks on.
The Sports Idiots. Weekdays at 4 on ESPN Radio 1300.
26 turnovers last night. If I'd have told you last Friday that you're going to have 26 turnovers and still make it to the final game, would you believe me?
Oh, absolutely not. But you told me as well that we were going to out-rebound North Carolina by 10, the most athletic team in the country, and hold them to 70 points in scoring. I would have known hands down we were going to win the game.
Well, Coach Freeze, I had you on the day after the selection show, and we got your opinion on how you felt about a 2-seed. We had you on after the open couple of games when you made it to the Sweet 16. We have you on again right now going into the finals. I've been saying it all along, and I told you not to repeat because I don't want you to be a jinx. I felt something was special about this team mid-season, and I still feel that way today, and I know that after tomorrow we're going to be celebrating a national championship here, and I'm going to hold you your promise that you're going to come on the show after you're the national title.
That sounds outstanding. Would love to.
All right, well, good luck in Boston tomorrow night. Present well, and we will look forward to seeing you back at home in College Park.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank
luck,
you, Coach
Coach.
Freeze. Take care.
Thanks.
And now, here's your chance to talk some trash with the best of them. It's the Sports Idiots.
Well, I guess not exactly be correct.
I mean, the best. A couple of guys here. Where's Neil? If Neil Willoughby was here, we would be able to say we are the best.
Still working on that intro. It's okay. We're in the new studio. That good stuff. I am Craig Lehman, a.k.a. Bacon. He is Neil Willoughby, a.k.a. The Medicus. And, of course, Jeff Wolfson, also known as Mensa. Jeff Wolfson is on the big board. Behind the big board, as always, our producer.
How did Mensa come about again?
Mensa came about because one day I asked for some bit of knowledge and you knew the answer, and at that point, your street ball name was Mensa.
So it was said, so it is.
So it shall be written.
So it is.
It goes without saying we are an NFL show. That's what we do around here. One step ahead of the game, try and provide you a public service of winning money and betting your game, picking up players on the waiver wire for fantasy, winning your fantasy leagues, impressing your friends, talking about players that you knew before anybody else.
Hey, like in November, I'm saying I love your show.
By the way, if you're just catching up with the show, we're talking about the interview last night with Ray Lewis and Rachel Nichols on SportsCenter, where it was the second straight day he's been interviewed and essentially seems like he's not real happy. Saturday, May 20th, tune into ESPN 1300 starting at 11 a.m. as we broadcast live from the Preakness Stakes. Tom Davis, Phil Wood, and
Craig
yours
Lehman.
truly will keep you up to date with all the late-breaking Preakness news. Might even handicap a race or two for you lucky folks out. Yeah, we're working on the audio from the...
To be dominant.
Okay, here we go.
You see? And that hasn't been brought up to say, okay, I got the Michael Jordan on football on my team, but I'm going to take Scottie Pippen away from him.
Who was Scottie Pippen?
Again, if you can tell us who Scottie Pippen was, I hope it wasn't Will Demps. I don't know. If you can tell us who Scottie Pippen was, we're all ears.
I'll just read the first two paragraphs because that's all I need to read. There's life after Ray, and it's time to start preparing. He loses me. Here's where he lost. He totally lost me. Everything about the Ravens' offseason maneuvering indicates team officials sought instant fixes.
One thing the Ravens have always been top-notch at is a community relation.
Yeah, well, we do have a PR guy, a coach. All right, man, thanks for the call, Patrick. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk Ravens a little bit later. Schedule came out today.
Patrick, let me ask you a question. Last Thursday, would you rather listen to us yak for a couple hours or listen to Maryland get absolutely lambasted on the radio?
Oh, yeah, I'd rather listen to you guys anytime.
We would have been here for you while they were blowing Maryland out. They make a little more money off them, I think. Though.
We have a contract.
What is the state of Maryland football?
I mean, best 7 and 5.
Best 7 and 5, yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for the call, Patrick.
Terps are going to struggle to actually listen to have been on the radio against William and Mary, and they were struggling. I'm like, you got to be kidding.
Now, would have handled the tribe, baby.
That's what it is.
You got to manhandle the tribe, baby.
A school the size of Towson. But they're in Towson division. But
it's only two people, William and Mary. I mean, William's good, but how good can Mary be? Right. God. I mean,
we got Florida International this weekend, and then we'll see. And then after that, the ACC season starts, and we got Florida State and Miami coming to College Park.
We need Florida Atlantic after last week's performance. Outside right now, you'll see Slayton still running. He's going to run right by the studio. He made another touchdown.
Actually, it's so annoying when Maryland gets their ass handed to them by the big game of the year. With Virginia Tech last year, and this year it was West Virginia. It's the big game, and then we just get destroyed. It's so annoying.
Well,
you got your high def set. You're all excited.
We were watching in the kitchen. One of the other board ops here, he said, "Don't underestimate Maryland." I poked my head in at the end of the first quarter. I said, 28-0.
Right.
Am I underestimating Maryland?
By the way, right. You get a chance to see each team, kind of get a sense of like how things are going to go. I mean, before you blinked an eye, it was 14-0. Florida's 28.
Listen, it was exactly like watching the Raider game when Aaron Brooks can't get the snap from center. You're just not going to be in a close game when you can't just successfully get the kickoff and start your offense. Coach Friesen, if you get it worked out, we're all behind you, and definitely turn the program
we need
around.
Some thugs, man.
Andrew, anything else, man?
And that's it, guys. Love the show.
All right, man. Thanks.
Thank you, Andrew. We love you. Platonic way.
Yeah, that way, yeah.
that would help the team compete immediately. Do I need to read any more? What did they do in this offseason? The one big glaring issue is something they haven't addressed at all.
That being quarterback.
Of course.
That's wrong. We got a guy, his name, Kyle.
But Keo Miatu. We didn't even replace him adequately. No, we did replace him. I didn't just say I don't think at the same level where we had. So we're not even where we were. We're the exact same team, except we have a better backup running back. Maybe. I don't know. I kind of like Chester Taylor.
You know how I like to throw out just to remind everybody how Steve Bisciotti said that the pieces were in place for us to win a Super Bowl.
Gotta wait and see. Price may be good.
That's what I want to know. If we're not making ourselves competitive, when you're going to jump in the old pal Glenn's theory, just get through one more season. We'll let Billick and Bowler fail together. Then we'll get Billick out.
Patrick, how are you, sir?
Be a fellow idiot. What's up?
Hey, guys. Great show as always.
You've been hearing for a long time that people are upset that Ray Lewis isn't talking to the media.
Right.
Well, now that he's talking, they're upset at what he's saying.
Yeah.
Have it both ways.
Right.
Ray Lewis coming out and saying something isn't preventing people from coming here.
And you can give us a call, 494-881-1300. What do you think Ray Lewis's motive for calling these couple interviews? What's the purpose of Ray doing this when he was saying, I want a new contract? It was like the force your hand move. I'm asking for something I know you're not going to give me, so you're going to have to trade me. Sean, what's up?
I'm doing great. Hey, how's everything going, guys? I love the show. He stepped up. And the defense played as a whole better without Ray. I think he's kind of freaking out about that.
Bart Scott is obviously what you meant. Yes, he clearly played well. We had him on the show. We talked about he had double-digit tackles. He got a new deal, had double-digit tackles like 8 games in a row when Ray was out. One component of this whole thing is Ray may feel like the rest of the team's like, hey, maybe we can do all right without. And that's kind of what's causing him to step out in the forefront and make us all talk about him. As a Ravens fan, what do we want? Wait a minute. Let's remember the guy who got us playoffs and got us to the Super Bowl. Let's remember the guy who got us playoffs and got us to the Super Bowl. Before I heard him go 7 months without talking, I was like, well, look, pay the guy what he wants. Money is replaceable. I don't know that Ray Lewis is our replaceable. Money is replaceable. I don't know that Ray Lewis is our replaceable from where I'm coming from. For a long time, everyone was saying, Ray, give us a comment. Tell us what's going on. We heard nothing, and now we hear this. So why do we hear it? Was it to try and get traded? Was it to try and influence the draft? Was it to try and influence the quarterback position? Was it to try and influence getting the coach out of there? Was it to express that he's angry, which is like the worst kept secret in town? I think there are people that were giving him the benefit of the doubt while he was quiet.
I think there's got to be a little bit of anger with Ray when it comes to seeing how much Chris McAllister got.
Right.
I still have to say this isn't about money to me. Look,
you're blind, Craig. You're blind. You're drinking the Kool-Aid.
That when Tejada did that, I was actually thinking this is getting a little disturbing. That the best player on every one of our teams
is trying to get out.
Yeah. Isn't this a Brett Favre thing?
I
want to see what you guys do, and that shows me that you're committed to winning, and then I'll get.
We'll break it down here in a little bit.
What Rick is saying is no, they've done everything they need to do to be competitive this year. Name 2 moves that makes them be competitive this year.
The CN newspaper talk a little Steve McNair, some developments that you all may be interested in.
Yeah, welcome to the program, Paul Koharski.
Craig Allen, how you doing? The problem, it's going to be hard, I think, to kiss and make up from here.
Let's assume that Steve McNair actually vacates Tennessee and goes somewhere else, maybe hopefully Baltimore actually. What do you think?
Optimistic, I don't know if you know what you're wishing for.
Well, do you know who he got?
You watch Kyle Bowler a couple years, and believe me, we'll take whatever we can get.
Kyle Bowler, I'll give you that, but he's not going to be Ben Roethlisberger.
Somewhere in the middle will be just fine. Somewhere in the middle will be just fine. Sounds like it might be a possibility, and that's an upgrade. Works for me.
Well, anything is an up. Well, anything is an up. Well, anything is an up. Name 2 moves that makes them competitive this year.
Who do you think the Ravens are going to draft?
Well, that's an excellent question.
The Ravens will, of course, be taking Haloti.
What day is the draft?
It's the 29th of April. It's a Saturday, as always. The team will be there over there at Dave & Buster's in Arundel Mills.
Yep.
ESPN 1300's radio coverage of the National Football League's 70th annual draft.
Where the Ravens will, of course, be taking Haloti. Where the Ravens will, of course, be taking Haloti.
Soon we will have Aaron Fentress from the Oregonian to talk a little Haloti.
Go ahead and bring in Aaron
Fentress. We do. Sure. Welcome to the show, Aaron. How are you today?
Good. Do I get to be an honorary idiot?
I don't see why you cannot. And 6'5", 340, as you so one would call him a run stuffer, would one?
Oh, he is a gap filler. He's Saragusa, but without as much fat and a lot more athletic. Saragusa, out as much fat and a lot more athletic.
Said runs a 5'0", 140.
That's flying. That's flying. And it was one of those eye-opening plays where everyone in the press box looked at each other and thought, oh my goodness, no human that big should be able to move like that. No human that big should be able to move like that.
How high could he possibly go, do you think?
The highest I've heard him going is Buffalo. I think they're very interested in him, and that's at number 8, top 15 pick. He's just so big, so strong, so athletic. Impossible to pass up. Impossible to pass up. He could be as good as he wants to be, and I would say minimum we're looking at a Sam Adams type career. And they want to have someone who's going to occupy gaps. They're going to get that with this guy. Feelings on him has always been that he can be as good as he wants to be.
Come back from the break. We're going to get on this topic a little bit more because Glenn Clark seems to think that Steve Bisciotti has tanked it for the year He wants to let Billick and Bowler ride off on a white horse together.
Together. Whatever they're doing it together and preferably holding hands.
They've been doing it together for quite some time now. We're kind of hoping they could split those two up maybe at some point.